All eyes are on Hurricane Laura at this hour. Good evening, I'm Mike Naso with this 11:30 midnight, late Tuesday, early Wednesday video update on our dangerous Hurricane Laura. You could see the Atlantic Basin, the Gulf, the Caribbean, obviously there in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, sitting right in there, is our strengthening Hurricane Laura, forecast to be a major hurricane right near the Texas-Louisiana border in about 24 to 36 hours, and it is going to bring gusty winds and tremendous storm surge potential there. Let's get the latest now on Laura as of 11 p.m. Eastern. This is from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. Hurricane Laura was at 25.2 north, 89.5 west, winds of 90. So it's been strengthening all day and all through the night. It's moving west-northwest at 17, and that pressure's dropped down into the 970s now. Had been up at about 990 millibars. So it is a strengthening hurricane. And it's going to be a major hurricane by Wednesday night as it closes in here on the coastline and make landfall probably in Louisiana or very extreme northeastern coastline of Texas. So if you're in Beaumont, Port Arthur, Sabine Pass, Cameron, Louisiana, Holly Beach, Lake Charles, you guys appear to be directly in the path of this dangerous hurricane. After that, it's going to make a quick right hook and get caught up in the westerlies and get out of here, but not before its impact along the Gulf Coast. Of course, we do have watches and warnings out. You can see we have hurricane warnings in effect from San Luis Pass, Texas to Intracoastal City, Louisiana. We have a storm surge warning from San Luis Pass, Texas to the mouth of the Mississippi River. Tropical storm warnings from Sargent, Texas to San Luis Pass and east of Intracoastal City to the mouth of the Mississippi. And we also have a hurricane watch east of Intracoastal City to Morgan City, Louisiana. So everybody's on alert, evacuations, hunkering down, getting ready. You can see the wind field, tropical storm force winds extending out here. The worst winds, of course, are right near the center, and that center is likely to make the landfall very close to the border, but it's going to bring hurricane force winds in a hurry well inland. You can see hurricane winds are going to shoot right in well into Louisiana, well past areas of Lake Charles, and up towards Arkansas. You're going to have tropical storm conditions. So don't think that this is just a coastal event. This is going to bring gusty winds and heavy rainfall inland as well. Here's Laura looking better. It still has been dealing with some of this dry air. You see here kind of the coiling, but it has been strengthening steadily, and that's concerning as the hurricane strengthens more, probably as it crosses these hot waters. We'll see it go from Category 1, it's almost a Category 2 now, into a Category 2 and then a Category 3. And whether or not it stays the same or weakens is kind of a moot point, because these hurricanes like Laura build up storm surge over the ocean, and even if they start to weaken upon landfall, that water is going to rise regardless. Right now, they're saying Category 3, this type of damage, what you see on the left side of your screen is kind of what we're looking at, and Category 3 is 111 to 129 miles an hour. Right now, the Hurricane Center has Laura hitting 120. That is a powerful hurricane. Fran was 120 miles an hour in North Carolina. I believe Ivan was 120 miles an hour in Gulf Shores back in 2004. That is a powerful hurricane. You can see that even better on this graphic. Right now, it is a high-end Category 1, and it's expected to be right in the middle of Category 3. So we are still expecting a big jump in intensity, and it is expected to be a devastating major hurricane upon landfall in the United States. The computer models are pretty much honing in right on the border. I mean, literally as close to the border of Texas and Louisiana as you could get. You might be able to see somebody on the other side in a different state as the hurricane comes ashore. That's how close. So Sabine Pass, Beaumont, Cameron, this whole region here is really looking like the writings on the wall for the landfall of Laura. This is the 18Z H-Worth model, makes Laura 100 knots. That's a Category 3 hurricane, has it coming ashore here in Louisiana. And then we have the other hurricane model, the HMON, 100 knots, Category 3 hurricane coming ashore in Louisiana. So they're closing in here. Cameron Parish was impacted very badly by Hurricane Audrey in '57 and by Hurricane Rita in 2005. It looks like Laura is going to be a significant blow to areas there along the coast. And there's some beautiful little fishing cottages, barrier islands, and you could tell that a lot of them are newer because of Rita in 2005. And it's just a shame when that storm surge comes in because it's so devastating. This is what we're dealing with right now as of the 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. advisory. 9 to 14 feet. Sabine Lake and areas here very near Holly Beach, Cameron, even up to Lake Charles. I mean, 9 to 14 feet. The average person is what, 5-6 feet tall? So take 14 feet of surge, water rise, with heavy waves on top of that, and Category 2-3 winds? Forget about it. Look at Vermilion Bay, 7 to 11 feet here near Intracoastal City, and if the eye comes ashore here right near the border, that would just be the right front quadrant where that onshore flow is. Not to mention water rises here, Lake Borgne, Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas, all you guys over here near the mouth of the Mississippi, you guys could get 2 to 4 feet water rises. So it could be well away from the center. Laura's not a giant hurricane, but she ain't going to be that small when she makes landfall. Still, 3 to 5 feet Galveston Bay, San Luis Pass, Freeport, 2 to 5 feet as well in those locations. So again, just a very dangerous situation. The bottom line tonight, before you go to bed, if you're getting up early tomorrow and doing any final preparations down there to protect life and property, number one, there is a danger of life-threatening surge and large and dangerous waves producing potentially catastrophic damage from San Luis Pass, Texas to the mouth of the Mississippi River, including areas inside that Port Arthur hurricane flood protection system. This surge could penetrate 30 miles inland from the coast. Remember how low-lying and marshy those areas are. And this is in southwest Louisiana and far southeast Texas. Actions to protect life and property should be rushed to completion because water levels are going to be rising very quickly on Wednesday. Number two, hurricane force winds expected Wednesday night in the warning area, and the strongest winds are going to be in the eye wall somewhere within that area from San Luis Pass to Morgan City, and hurricane force winds, widespread damaging wind gusts, well inland. You're talking power outages, roofs blown off, complete destruction of mobile homes when you're dealing with a Category 3 with higher gusts. It's going to be very nasty. And finally, number three, widespread flash flooding, small streams, urban areas, roadways. That's going to begin Wednesday night into Thursday across far eastern Texas, Louisiana, and as I mentioned earlier, Arkansas. And this will lead to isolated moderate river flooding. And again, this is all going to spread. As I mentioned, Laura gets caught in that westerly flow through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys by Saturday. So, again, everybody in the warning area, from the upper Texas coast on back to the middle Louisiana coast, you guys need to be doing the final touches to whatever preparations, evacuating, listen to your local officials, and get out of Dodge, because Laura looks like she's going to join several other historical storms and be a very historic Gulf Coast hurricane, with a Category 3 major landfall anticipated in the next 24 to 36 hours. I'm Mike Naso with this late night update on Dangerous Laura, and I'll see you next time.